Ever since I've gone to the gym, my two main chest exercises have always been the flat barbell bench press and an incline machine press. But the past 30 days, I have completely changed up those two compound exercises. I still have the same isolation exercises. However, I have completely changed the compound exercises. And today I'll be going through why I did this and also the 30-day result of what happened. So basically what I changed is I started off with a flat barbell bench press, then I would head on to an incline machine press. But recently I've completely switched everything around. I switched into an incline dumbbell bench press. Now the main reason why I changed this is because I want to grow more muscle on my chest. I feel like my chest has really been lagging behind my other muscles. It's just my opinion. You guys might not think so, but I have been strength training the past 6 months. I've been training for a higher bench number, but most of the times it was just training my CNS, which is kind of like the fight or flight system. All right, so let's move on to why I changed these exercises. Now, the reason why I'm doing an incline dumbbell bench press to start is because I want to maximize and prioritize getting a bigger upper chest, because I feel like my upper chest is just small relative to my other muscles. And also, the incline dumbbell bench press gets a far wider stretch than an incline machine press. There's a greater range of motion, which is always great, and you can get that further stretch on your upper chest. And the reason why I changed from bench press to a pec deck machine is because the activation on a pec deck machine is just far more greater than an average conventional flat bench press. Now, when I did my bench press, I usually felt it on my triceps. The triceps were the main muscles that pushed it up, in my opinion. I feel like the chest didn't really do much. They were kind of just the stabilizers, I guess. But I feel like the pec deck has really trained my chest muscles hard. I could really feel the activation. And recently, I've actually felt how a chest pump actually felt like. Okay, so now let's head on to what most of you guys were waiting for, which is the results. So the first week of starting out of doing this program, I was a little bit weaker than usual. The stabilization of the incline dumbbell bench press needed work. I wasn't really used to that, so I started out with lighter weight. I'm pretty sure I was using the 55s for reps for the incline dumbbell bench press. But all in all, you have to adapt at the start. And also, I've never done a pec deck or a chest fly sort of movement, so I also kind of needed to adapt as well. Sometimes I would feel on my biceps, I'd feel on my shoulders, but you just got to adapt and everything. So for the first week, I would say, or maybe a week and a half, I was just adapting to everything, trying my best to, perfect my form. And then once you adapt your form, after that, your strength just explodes. Now, I recently just realized that my dumbbell pressing strength is far greater than my barbell pressing strength. And weeks 3 to 4 is when you're going to see a dramatic change. I'm not a beginner. I started going to the gym more than a year ago, but I went from repping the 55s to repping the 70 pounds. So you're going to feel a lot more stronger. And also my chest fly also went up a lot on the pec deck as well. I started out pretty light. I was, again, getting the form right. But once I got the form right and everything, it just clicked, and I'm using a lot more weight now. And if you're wondering on how much my chest changed, this is how my chest looked like before I started using the split, and this is how it looks like right now. As you can see, probably a minor difference, but I feel like my pressing strength has gone up, and I also feel like my chest feels a little bit fuller. It might be placebo or something like that, but looking at my photos and sometimes flexing in the mirror, I feel like my chest has got substantially bigger. It's almost like I entered a new phase of newbie gains. So if your current split is looking like a flat barbell bench press and then a machine incline bench press, then I would heavily advise you to start out with an incline dumbbell bench press and head over to some sort of chest fly movement, because for me, it has worked a lot. I feel like my chest has grown bigger, my strength has upped a lot. And one last point, I also train for bench press strength. I'm trying to get to 225. One thing that you can do is you can split your push days into A/B. Push A, you can maybe dedicate it towards strength training, you could start out with bench press first, start out with 3 to 5 reps. But push B is more muscle growth focused, so you can start out with the program. So instead of doing what you would do in push A, you would start out with incline dumbbell bench press and then chest flies. Alrighty guys, well this is going to be a video. This is basically what I experienced after 30 days of doing incline dumbbell bench press. I feel like it has really helped me out a lot. My strength has increased a lot. And also, again, I don't know if this is placebo or not, but I feel like my chest has gotten substantially bigger. If you guys are curious, make sure to give this a test. There is really no harm. You're still training the same muscles, except you're just using different exercises. But personally for me, those 2 exercises have gotten me a bigger chest, allowed me to grow more muscle and strength at the same time. So make sure to give that a try. This is going to be the video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys next one.